Hey, Facebook Live. Just want to give it a quick second. Excellent, excellent. Again, this is Rich Fontaine with day 23 of 365. We're moving to the year of commitment or consistency. I'm sorry. 2020 is the year of consistency. The year that you're going to say you're going to do it, and you're going to do it, and you're going to do it every single day to its completion. You are a sculptor of your life. And as you sculpt the clay every single day, that's when you start to feel and become and manifest the success that you want to be. Yesy, thanks for the like. And again, sometimes with Facebook, with my phone, I don't know, I can't see who's watching or if you leave a comment or a like. So if I missed you, I apologize. But I always appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to watch this. And again, this is the year of consistency, 2020. Mold the clay. Become and manifest the person you want to be by doing something bit by bit every single day, like the painter, like the sculptor, like the almighty Brahman. Some call it God, the cosmos, universe. You know, I was watching this thing where they were talking about the cliffs and how it takes centuries for the cliff to be made. Why? Because it's chipped away every single day. And then before you know it, you have a Grand Canyon. And today I want to talk about your associations. They say you are who you spend your time with. But how do you know if you're spending time with the right person? How do you know if you're partnering up with the right people? How do you know if you're with the right spouse? How do you know you have the right friends? You have to stress test them. What's stress test, Rich? Well, I remember when I was in construction, and when we laid out a slab, we would have the inspector come and stress test the slab before we poured it. And so he would have a machine and that would push down on the sand or the collective soil and make sure it was tough enough to make sure that the concrete pad won't yield. Meaning that they make sure it's tough enough, that the PSI, the pounds per square inch, is tough enough for that whole perimeter so it doesn't yield. So you put pressure on it. You put pressure on it to make sure it doesn't fold. That's how you stress test. And you should stress test all of your associations. I do it now because I've been burned in the past. I remember I went to a program when the person told me, hey, Rich, we're going to make you rich. We're going to make you abundant. Oh, we're going to do all these great things for you. And all these things are going to happen, man. Just sign up with us. Man, we're going to give you a website. We're going to do this, that, and the third. And when all was said and done and all the smoke and mirrors were gone, nothing happened. And I was so hyped on this company because they actually were a third-party company. I thought they were the real company, but they were actually a third-party company. And I was so engulfed in them, I thought that they were really going to do what they said they were going to do until I actually got with them and realized they had no intention of doing so. But it was my fault because I didn't do my background test. I didn't stress test them first. So how do you stress test? One, do your own background check. If they say, hey, we can do all this for you, talk to people that's worked with that company. Talk to people that are associated with those people. Get with their family and friends and see how are these people really. And two, spend time. Don't make quick, brash decisions. Take your time as you make this decision. Why? Because that's how you stress test. Because the person that's quickly to walk away is usually not the strong one. But the one that can handle the pressure are usually the ones that can stay. Even ask my wife, when we first met, I had a friend named Mike. He said, Rich, man, she's cute. You should get with her. And I said, just because she's cute? See, he's never been burned before. Or maybe he was the one doing the burning. But as I grew up, I was burned from relationships. And so I said, no, it doesn't matter if you're cute or you're not cute, pretty or not pretty, fine or not fine. It's who are you mentally? Can you handle a person like me? Are you forward looking? Are we going to be partnerships? Are we going to be in it for the long haul? And so I put pressure on her. I stretched that thing out. I said, if she's going to be with me, she's going to deal with me the way I am. And she did that. That's how I knew she was loyal. Through the thick and the thin. For both of us. When times was rough on her, who was right there? I was. And when time was the roughest for me, who was right there? She was. And so we stress test each other. So that way we knew that the relationship would work. And I've had people come to me and give me offers and say, hey, I could do this for you. I can help you with this. But then I stress test them and they yield. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll even poke the bear a little bit. I'll say, I'll say something a little brash on a message and see how they will react. And how they react will show you where their mentality really is. Can they handle the pressure? Because in a real partnership, a real relationship, through thick and thin, that person has to be there for the long haul. Because life is an ebb and flow. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And when you are down, will that person be there or will they fold? So before you sign that contract, before you sign that marriage license, before you give your money away, stress test your associations. Make sure that they can handle the long haul of the pressure and that they can actually do what they say they can do. Because again, if they're confident, they will. Which reminds me of a story, I don't know if anyone knows Kevin Hart. You probably do, right? And Kevin Hart was telling a story where he met a manager out in New York City. And this guy came to him and said, you know what, Kevin, I think you're great at what you do, but we gotta get you bigger. And at the time, Kevin was kind of broke, so he said, I don't really have money. So he said, okay, first, let's fix that problem. And then 2, let's get you bigger. And he told the guy, listen, I don't have really money to pay you. He said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. First, let's get you some money, then you could pay me. So he takes Kevin to a school, or actually a competition where they could get registered for colleges and basically be a keynote comedian. And he goes there, he blows everybody away, and then he starts to get all these bookings on this school. But the guy told him, hey, he's like, man, I'm making money now, we're good. He said, you're not good. Stay focused on the plan. The plan is to blow you up. It's not just to get you money. That was step 1, get you some money. Step 2, blow you up. So first, he got him some money. But he said, you can't do weekends. But he's like, that's the biggest money. He's like, but you can't do weekends. You have to be in New York. You have to do your stand-up on the weekends. You have to be in New York. He said, you know what, man? You got me this far, I'll trust you. And then Kevin starts doing stand-up in New York City. And what happens, he meets Damon Dash, the CEO of Rockefeller. And that's how he got into his very first movie. And that started him on the path to blowing up. And the same manager that started him is his manager today, 15 years later. And what, Kevin's probably a multi-billionaire. And so what do you think his manager is? But his manager was stress tested. He said, I can't pay you. Don't worry about it. Hey, we're making money now. Now I can pay you. No. That's not the plan. Stay focused on the plan. See, that's stress testing. When you're a master, when you know what you're doing, the money doesn't faze you. When you're sure, when you're confident in your skills and your ability, you're not reaching out really quick, because short-term gain is a resistance to long-term success. I'm going to say that again. Short-term gain is a resistance to long-term success. See, when somebody's stress tested, that's when they push on the soil, because they know it's being stress tested and it has to go for the long haul. Before I build my house on this, I have to make sure this base is solid. So there's people in your life right now that you don't need to be associating with. There's people that you're giving your money to that has nothing, that won't do anything for you. And the person that's quickly that says, hey man, you can pay me this, I can do that, I used to do for free. I remember my very first job in my career. It was an internship when I got into construction. It was during 2012, nobody was hiring. And I went to the guy and said, listen, I want to shadow you. He said, well, we're not hiring you. We can't pay you. I said, it doesn't matter. I didn't ask for a payment. I just want to be involved. I just want to be here. I just want to gain the knowledge. I want to gain the experience. And then the day I came in, he said, hey, Rich, you know what? We know we said we're not going to pay you, but we're going to get you some minimum wage. We're going to start you off with something. Why? Because I was stress tested. He said, if this person's willing to work for free and put in work, not even just come in, slump his shoulders. I mean, literally come in early, stay in late, put in work for free. That's the person I want in my company. That's the person I want in my business. That's the person I want for the long haul. Before you sign that contract, before you start becoming, before you get married, before you get in a relationship, before you make that person your friend, stress test them. 2 out of 3 marriages fail. Why? Because the man nor the woman stress test each other. So before you jump in, you dive in for the long haul. I promise you, the best thing you could do is stress test the person. And if they fold and they leave, that wasn't the person for you. But if they could stick around for the long haul and say, you know what? Whatever it is, I know the vision, I see the vision, let's get it. That's the person that's going to be your side 15 years from now. Again, this is Rich Fontaine with the Daily Motivation. Either you can agree with me or not agree with me, but either way, I feel that this was a successful conversation. Love is love, Tiki, Eric. I appreciate you guys coming through. Again, I can't see everyone that comes up on here, but these messages are not for me to share or me to hoard. They're for me to share, and I hope it serves you well. Namaste.